All right, we have Wallace Fisher here, master stock instructor on our website. Um, we just talked about when to buy. What's the opposite of that? Now, when do we get to cash out? When is a good time to sell? When is a good time to pull some money out of the market?
Right, thank you, Mark. Thank you for having me. And this is another great question. So a lot of people will price themselves out of the market. So let me say this, stocks in the long run will do well for you, 20 plus years. But sometimes we get stay in stocks too long and we see a big run up and we stay so long, we can see all our profits deteriorate without taking profits. That happens to a lot of people, especially when you're into speculative stocks, not the ones that we talked about earlier, the value stocks, but that can happen as well. But all right, so just like you got a price point to get in, you want to have a price point to take profits as well.
Mhm.
So say for instance, again, let's go back for $1,000. You put $1,000 in a particular security or stock, and it goes up, let's say 50%. So to you, you're like, okay, if it goes up 50%, I'm going to take, let's say 10% off the table,
Mhm.
right? That's something that you want, or you just want to let it ride. It goes to 100%, so you made 100% profit. You can take what you put in out, and now you can let all that ride because now you put $1,000 in, you take $1,000 out, you still got $1,000 in the market, and
Playing with
let
the
that
house money.
you paying house money, right? And a lot of people do that. Or you wait and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to sell at 300%, right? And I'm going to take profits at 300%. Whatever you want after you do your research and you see, what they have coming up in the future, future products or future endeavors, whatever that is, that's going to help the stock go. You can do that. One of the things that people fail to do is ring the register. As famous say, you want to ring the register. No one ever got hurt from taking a profit ever, right? And don't even worry about if you take a profit too soon. It's still a good profit, right? So you want to make sure you set a basis of, if it runs 50%, I'm going to take 10% off. If it runs 75%, I'm going to take 10 to 12, 15% off, where however that is, so you can start, getting your money back,
Yes,
and you can
sir.
use that money to invest in other things. So say for instance, now you have extra cash because your stock ran 50% or 75%. Now you got, an extra $200 or so, and it brings the market down. You know, the president or whoever, Biden or something, the world news bring the market down. Now you got extra money to buy something else. Hey, I always was looking at that stock. So now you're in some other securities. As they run up, you have the same cost basis, right? If this runs up a certain amount, I'm going to take money off the table, right? So as you take money off the table, you're building your stock portfolio, and you're
Mhm.
building cash at the same time, so you can um, you know invest in other companies that's going to build your portfolio.
Man, that's so amazing. Like just the way that you just make it so simple, but it makes so much sense. And I think that's what the greatest benefit is for, and some of the feedback we've been getting from the students is just like how simple it is and how like easy it is for them to comprehend this now it's actually being broken down for them in a step-by-step way, not just look at the market scrolling across the TV screen. I should be buying some stocks. I wonder what I should be doing. Such a far leap from there for them now that you can just see the gratitude. So thank you for
Right.
showing them when to buy because hey, when to sell, because I think after everything overall, that's what people really are looking for not only to increase their net worth by buying stocks and letting them grow over time and having a large portfolio, but then also being able to take some of that money that they've made, but knowing when it was the right time to do it. And I
Yep.
think I think you made a good point about you know it's never a bad time to sell, and no one got hurt for taking a profit because I think sometimes people, like you started off saying, hanging on too long. It's like I want to make the maximum amount before I take it right at the perfect time, and I want to see it go all the way down as low as it can. I want to buy at the perfect time. It's like you can't do that. You got to be. It's like Colin Powell said. Colin Powell said, when you have 70 to 80% of the information you need to make a decision, make the decision.
Make the
You know,
decision.
so it's like if you're getting 70 to 80% of the highest little tip of peak, you're good. You know what I mean? And if you're buying almost at where it's gonna bottom out to the lowest amount of point, you're good. You don't have to try and hit every single peak and valley at the highest and lowest point to feel like you did the most intelligent thing and you're the best investor there is. That's that mystery and myth of trying to get this perfect timing. What we want you to be able to do is just to not have super huge losses and be able to have slow, steady, consistent gains to where you see that this works for you. And that's the overall goal of this education process, is to give you enough understanding to be able to make sound decisions and be able to not take huge losses and have slow, steady growth. And I think you did a great job explaining buying and selling. And I appreciate you for that. In the next segment, we're going to be talking about, when we see you again, having a diversified portfolio, or what it means to have a good portfolio. Okay.
Yes, sir.